Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you're here. I want to take a couple seconds and do a shout out for the channel members. Thank you guys. I appreciate you all more than you know. And welcome and thank you to anyone who comes in to watch my knife and EDC content. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy the content and you'd like to be updated when the channel does different things and really help me out one step further, if you're so inclined, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification icon, and it will really help me out. Today is a very unique knife that I have not been able to get out of my pocket in one variation or another, and I'll bring that up here in a second. I picked this knife up when it dropped. This is a knife that's, I guess you'd call it a collaboration between Divo Knives and traditional pocket knives. Let me see if I can get this to come on the right way. I don't know if you guys can see that carbon fiber, that 80's carbon fiber when I put the UV light on it. In a dark room, that just is something I find transfixing. But anyway, I didn't have the 80 carbon fiber to start with. I had the Arctic Blue. I picked it up on drop day from Traditional Pocket Knives. This is a titanium bolster lock with a wire clip, tumbled titanium, this beautiful 80's carbon fiber. You've got a front flipper here on the front of the knife where this little divot is, and then you also got a front flipper up here at the top of the knife. So I can front flip it there. I can front flip it there. If I want to do wacky flips, I can do it. You guys, if you've watched the channel for any time, you'll know. If you haven't, I'll tell you, I fucking hate front flipping. It's not my deal. Do not like it. I like middle finger flicking, which this knife also allows you with that long protruded pull. You can really get under it and you can really pop the detent and get it to open up very nicely. This little knife kind of fits a weird gap. When I saw that it was in production, or when I saw it being planned out, there were several things that intrigued me. First off, I got this in the barley mixed up, and I thought this was going to be a slip joint, or I thought it might. And of course the Lush is not a slip joint. It is a blocking knife. But what it has that made me think again it might be a slip joint was the way that it just looks like a slip joint. The way that the choil splits off of the handle to make the knife extremely comfortable, i.e. if you have your finger in there, it's going to roll up on you more so than it is going to cut you, because your finger's part of holding that blade down. Plus the lockup's very good on this knife. I can even do a reach around, which is something my short finger doesn't allow me to do. But I'm at about 40% on this S90 deep hollow ground blade. This knife was OEM'd, if I'm not mistaken, by Concept, and they killed it. You've got this beautiful chamfered swedge up here towards the tip. You've got a tip that will allow you to pick out those splinters, those detail cuts. You've got jimping that really guides your finger for those detail cuts, or gives your thumb that extra traction for when you're doing regular cuts, pull through cuts. And grab a piece of paper. Guys, I'm gonna have to get another ream of paper pretty soon. So all I can tell you guys is this hollow grind in S90V, whether I chop the paper or cut the paper, which according to some of Metal Complex's commenters is not as proof that the knife is sharp as chopping. So we'll chop some too. This knife, guys, is sharp. Have I cut myself with it? Not yet. Do I plan on it? Nope. Does that mean that I won't? Nope. Does that mean that I'm scared of it? Hell no. Guys, this would not be a normal knife that I pick out. If you look in my pocket today, I'm carrying a Protec Strider. I'm carrying a nip slip. And I'm carrying a Focus 3. Focus 3 light. So I typically have a bigger primary carry, or something a little bit tactical, maybe you'll say. But this little knife, when I carry it, which has been quite a bit, because I was blessed with this knife from my new buddy, JD for EDC. I don't know if y'all watch his knife. It's live on Thursday night. He's going to start going live earlier on Thursday nights, kind of before Lefty. And I really like JD. I started becoming familiar with his channel when I watched him mod the 80-20.5s and the pulsars with his magnets, which has led to us getting more insight. And I've got some knives and scales, magnets, and some glue and some instructions coming to me right now from Brother Saigon Kick, who's the master of the magnet mod. And he's just a guy, JD for EDC, who likes to learn. His channel is very informative. And we got to talking either in a live stream, and he knew I had the Arctic, and he had the camo. And he wasn't as crazy with the camo, kind of like I wasn't as crazy with the Arctic. I love the Arctic. I just went to get the camo, and they were sold out. JD knew the camo was going to be the quickest to go, so he got it, even though he kind of wanted a different color. Long story short, I had this knife out of my pocket for maybe 4 days, while JD and I just did a clean swap across the board. And JD, if you're watching this, I appreciate that, my man. I really love the CamoCarbon fiber, and like I told you when we traded it, I'm just keeping it in good condition for you. If you ever change your mind and want to trade back, I'm good like that. But again, it's a small to medium size knife. Let's do a couple of size comparisons like we normally do. Let's look at our Sawtooth Dave, wonderfully reground. Doesn't even have a final edge put on it yet. 4 max, and it's going to come in much, much smaller than the 4 max. Let's look at it next to the Civivi Baby Banta. Closer, but much bigger than the Baby Banter. Look at it next to our Benchmade Bug Out. Going to be a little shorter than the Baby Bug Out, which is going to make it considerably shorter than our Spyderco Paramilitary 2. A couple of other small knives that are newer in my collection that I thought we might get a look at before we put the tape measure on it. The, well, one's an old knife. The EMP EDC Nimble. It kind of reminded me of being that size knife. Or the Quiet Carry OG Drift. So guys, if you have either a Nimble or a Drift, that'll give you an idea on the size of the knives that you're looking at. So the Quiet Carry, or excuse me, the Quiet Carry Drift's going to be thinner. You're going to have about the same thickness between the Lush and the Nimble 2. So fantastic action, fantastic access to the lock bar. I don't know if you can see that there, but you're fully cut out to where you have a clear pass-through for it with a little bit of jimping inside, or I guess you'd call it a little scallop inside there. And guys, for somebody who hates front flipping, I'll look at this little area right here and this top area kind of as a target. I've gotten my eyes to kind of play tricks on me, so I can easily, without even thinking about it, go for either the front flip or the top flip because it's so easy to manipulate. It's also a very light knife because of the carbon fiber. Do I like that as much as the flicking it? No, because I can literally take this knife out of my pocket, hit the blade anywhere, whether it's at the top of the blade or whether it's at the very, very bottom of the blade, and I can open it. So I love this knife, guys. It is a home run. I'm so glad that I bought it when it dropped, and I'm even more thankful that JD was willing to trade colorways with me. Let's get some dimensions. There's also some dimensions on Traditional Pocket Knives website, and I will link it to their website even though they're not available. I'm going to call it 7 inches overall with a 3 1/8 inch blade with a 2 1/8 inch cutting edge, a handle length of 4 inches, and where I keep my finger from the choil to the back of the handle here is also 4 inches. So from right here to right here is 4 inches. So I think that gives you, even if you've got a larger size hand, a good grip on the knife. Let's break out our calipers real quickly. .11, .11. It's going to be thin, if I can get it accurately. .0170. .0145. And our handle, a little bit of contour is going to come in at .47. Let's get our scale. Right, so the Lush in its beautiful 80s carbon fiber is going to come in at 2.85 ounces. I bet you if I open it, it's still going to be 2.85 ounces. Bang! Anyway, guys, that is the Divo Lush, one of the most highly anticipated knives I was looking for last year, just because, not because I'm best buds with Lefty EDC and I think the world of Colin, the knives that they design, and I've got a video coming up that talks about when I started discovering Colin Mason Pierre CM Knife Works knives long before Lefty and Colin met, and talk about some of the characteristics I think that make them a dynamic duo and what kind of assures hopefully their success moving forward. And a lot of it, if other companies were to participate in that same type of activity, we'd all have better knives. It'd just be a great way to work. But guys, I love this knife. I know that there's going to be more of these available. This knife was $199. It is S90V, titanium, 3 different carbon fibers, beautifully done. I mean, concept knocked it out of the park, and it is a gentleman's traditional modern folder that intimidates no one and might impress many. I'm really impressed by it. I love it, guys. I ask just if you would, please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for that guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.